zoomed in. Just me and Finnegan. And last night, I actually slept pretty well last night. I'm not gonna say I didn't, but my neighbor adjacent to me loves to sing. And to be honest, she's not a bad singer, so I don't wanna like quell her dreams by screaming shut the f up too often. So I'm thinking of like, instead of having my bed here, I flip it to the wall where the other side is my couch. So like very little to minimal noise. So I think I'm gonna try to do that today. It's funny because Sam knows me as somebody that changes my room up a lot. And so it'll be very funny too, because when she comes back from like her family's, she'll be like, oh, I don't know if I'm caffeinated enough for this. So if I flip where my bed and my TV stand are, essentially I could probably put my desk on the other side, and like it would just like, that wall's a lot longer. I guess let's move some shit around. I don't know if I'm gonna love it. I kind of like the concept of not coming into my room and immediately just seeing my bed, and then also I like the concept of like, I don't like seeing the wires like when I walk in. So this, you know, again, there's a couple reasons, mostly for the sound though. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what we do later. Shelby, drink your juice. Drink your juice, Shelby. If you saw the first take, I don't think I had my face in it, but we're gonna do a coconut cult moment this morning. You know, we're in the gang now, we just gotta do it. Every day gets a little easier.
I was really ahead of the game, and I booked my dentist appointment for the 2nd of January, so immediately got my teeth cleaned, starting the new year nice and fresh. Then I decided to head over to Barnes & Noble so I could buy my 2025 calendar. This is always the part of the year where I really feel like now we could start to plan and dream and look ahead. The calendar selection was kind of a flop. There were some notable mentions that almost, you know, went home with me. They were more like laughable, if anything. But I decided to go with this cutesy flower market wall calendar. So before I pack away that 2024 calendar, I'm just cross-referencing any good dates, taking a cute little picture of Finnegan. Like literally, what a mush. And here we are, ready to start 2025. Now that we've had such a productive start to the new year, let's wind down watching some of our favorite YouTube creators.
Friends, hey, hi, hello, how you doing? What's been going on? This is Rad Chaser. Thank you, Russ from the Road, once again for having me on the show. Happy New Year's. It's going to be a good one. I want to talk to you about a couple of video games coming out in 2025 that I am super stoked about. First up, Lunar Remastered. This is a compilation of two games, Lunar Silver Star Story and Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. These are old school RPG games, originally came out on the Sega CD in 1992. They really utilized the CD technology back then to get full motion video, voice acting and narration, and really enrich the RPG genre. With that technology, the game was so cool. It had great graphics, cutscenes, beautiful music. It had a soundtrack that was real instruments and music. It was awesome. As an old school RPG enthusiast, I am psyched up for this one. It's due out in spring of 2025 with no definite release date. But once that date drops, your boy's gonna snatch this game up with a quickness. So get at it. Next up, Intergalactic, The Heretic Prophet. Yo! It's an action-adventure game set thousands of years in the future in an alternative universe. Oh my god! The trailer for this one is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It looks like you're watching a movie. You get sucked in immediately. So this one's being developed by Naughty Dog, who put out games like Uncharted and The Last of Us. So you can definitely expect great things coming out of this one. One of my favorite parts about this is that the music is composed by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. I've been a Nine Inch Nails fan since before you were born, and I'm telling you, Reznor's trajectory has only gone up over the years. I can't believe, if you would have said 20, 30 years ago that he was going to be doing movie scores and video games, I would have told you to get the fuck out of here. But I am so happy that he is. I'm so happy he's teamed up with this boy. And it's definitely going to be a selling point for me for this game. I'm pumped up. The release trailer says this game is in development. I'm really hoping to get this late 2025, so I'm putting it on the list for good luck. Last up, I want to talk about Grand Theft Auto 6. This one kind of hits home a little bit because it's basically set in a bizarro Florida. You can definitely see it, and if you've seen the trailer, you can definitely tell that it's Florida. This game basically parodies a lot of internet meme culture and brain rot that's been going on in America the last, years. Things like Florida Man and the like, so that's pretty funny. I read that this game has been in development since 2014, so it's been a long time coming. Obviously, you've probably seen the jokes about we get XYZ before we get GTA 6. So, that said, hopefully, Q3, Q4, 2025 release is gonna happen. Let's see if it does. Fingers crossed. Big ups to Russ from the Road from having me out again. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to all your people out there and my people out there if you're watching. Thank you so, so much. This has been Rad Chaser. I'm almost out of here, and now I'm out of here.
Now it's time to head to the movies with our cinematic crusader. Here with another titanium take, here's our movie Maven Kai.
Happy New Year, everybody. It is I, your movie Maven Kai, and we are officially in 2025. Guys, I would love to be able to say, this is going to be our year, everybody. Like, we're going to have such amazing big moves and, whatever. But I have to tell you, there are some very concerning things going on in the world right now. And I think it would be best if all of us just kind of tread lightly. We mind to ourselves. We take care of ourselves. We make sure that, our bills are paid and our business is wrapped. And that's all that needs to be done. We are going into this year with a lot going on politically. So the beloved Jimmy Carter left us at the age of 100. I think we're okay with that. He lived such an incredible life. He was a wonderful president. He was an amazing philanthropist and entrepreneur and conservationist, and he gave us so many things, the playbook by which, so many conservationists live by now. And we have so much to thank him for. And I'm so very glad that I live in a world that has been positively affected by President Jimmy Carter. So we are saying goodbye to him, and we are bringing a new president into the White House. And, there's a new cabinet and new besties and, maybe even a new reality show out of it. God knows that we're already kind of feeling like we live in one right now. And I thought, what better time to watch one of my favorites from the late 90s. All my favorite movies of the late 90s. I'm just realizing that lately. I do a lot of movies from the 90s, but I assure you, they're all very fun. This one's called Dick. And if you've not seen Dick, Dick is about two friends played by Kirsten Dunst and Michelle Williams, who basically fail their way upward into a friendship with Richard Nixon. It is a really interesting movie that takes place, you know, in the time of Vietnam and movie musicals and Olivia Newton-John and all kinds of really interesting things. And somehow they become the, you know, official White House dog walkers, and they come in and take care of checkers for President Nixon during the Watergate scandal. This movie has an absolutely incredible cast. Dan Hedaya plays Richard Nixon, who every time you see him pop into something, you know it's going to be, you know, such a fun role. And he really, really outdoes himself with this one. He played Cher's dad in Clueless, if you need, you know, you don't match the name with the face. You also have like Eugene Levy and Jim Brewer, and I mean just like the most random people, you know, in this movie that you would never think to cast. And you have an early glimpse of a young Ryan Reynolds even, and it's just it's a very silly, very campy kind of movie. Amazing fashion. They took some of the best parts of the 70s and wrapped them into this movie. Great music, of course, and just a really fun story that kind of takes place with a backdrop of, you know, this huge political scandal that was happening, Watergate, that was happening at the time. And there's a lot of political commentary. There's a lot of idealism, and you see, you know, sort of, you know, how these two people who are very, you know, ditzy and, you know, out there and really have no political aspirations kind of get sucked into a lot of the idealism of the time. There was a lot of push towards, you know, nationalism during Vietnam, because they wanted to have all of this, you know, support for more troops and more money and, you know, all of this, and they absolutely weren't getting it. Vietnam was one of the, you know, the worst follies that we had, politically and militarily, if that's a word. If it's not, I just made it up, so somebody call Webster's. And you know, you get a lot of, I feel, and very much even when I was a teacher, the best way to get information and remember it, you know, is you want to make it meaningful, and a lot of times to make it meaningful, you make it funny, because it makes it memorable. And this movie is very, very, very funny, and you get a lot of that political commentary and a lot of that, you know, sort of education about that time in the world. And it's just so great, and it's so much fun. And it's funny because I remember when it came out, I was like, I'm not really a Kirsten Dunst or a Michelle Williams fan. And by the end of the movie, I'm like, okay, they made my list. They're amazing. They're so funny in this, and they pull it off. And I just think you'll really enjoy it. And I hope that you do. I hope you watch it and you get a good laugh, because like I said, guys, we are being faced with a lot of craziness happening right now. And well, I mean, it's been happening for a while, but it's definitely, you know, the bingo card is filling up early this year. And a lot of these squares none of us were really expecting. So we're going to do our best to, you know, stay mindful for ourselves. We're going to do our best to, you know, make sure that we have what we need, that those close to us that we love and we care about have what they need. And we're going to move forward with watching, you know, a lot of these, you know, older movies. I promise I will do more from other than the 90s and the early 2000s. It's just this felt right to watch. And, you know, we're going to take care of ourselves, and we're not going to worry about what other people think about us, even if, you know, they think that it's silly that most of the movies that we love so much are from the 90s and the early 2000s. Guys, it's been a pleasure. All of 2024 was such a pleasure. And I very much look forward, Rusty and I both look forward to, you know, having such a great time with you again this year. We're really excited about some of the stuff that's going on in our lives that we get to share with you. And we're really excited about, you know, knowing that you're there sharing it with us and being so wonderful and supportive and checking us out all the time. She sent me the statistics or the data on the year, and you guys are pretty awesome. You guys made an impact. You know, we got a lot of watches, and a lot of subs, and you know, I am an ambitious person. I would love to go, let's double that. But I'm also cautiously optimistic and go, you know, it's an interesting year. So let's just be happy with what we get. Let's work towards, what we have. Let's make goals, but make sure that they're smart and, do our very best and, accept ourselves for the very best that we can do. We love you guys. Drink your water, take your meds, have an absolutely fantastic first month of the new year. Happy 2025, guys. Take care. We'll see you next time.
So when I moved from Nashville, one of my favorite things that I heard was that it never snows in Atlanta. So definitely caught us by surprise when we got snowed in one Friday. But once that snow melted, it was back to work, and I was really grateful to be able to have that little reset. But it's a new year, and we have a lot of exciting things planned for Plant a Queen at Buckhead. I will be giving a little work update, but there's still some things kind of pending right now, but just kind of stay tuned for that video. In the meantime, this is pretty much what my life looks like most days. I hope you're all having an incredible start to the new year. We love you, and we'll see you in the next one.
I am zooming in. Okay, let's get back here. Alright. Oh, jeepers. Anyways. Where's Cat? Hey, being a creepo. What are you doing? What are you doing?